All right, so welcome everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today, we're going to really dig into Lesson 145 from A Course in Miracles, that workbook for students.
And this one, it's a review lesson, brings together two pretty powerful ideas, actually. 129, beyond this world, there is a world I want.
Oh, yeah, that one always gets me thinking.
Right. And then 130, it is impossible to see two worlds.
So basically, like choosing which reality we want to experience.
Yeah, I think that's at the heart of it. And, that's what we're going to explore today. Like, what does the Course mean by these two worlds? And, how do we actually choose?
Especially since it says we can't see both.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like this either-or situation, and that can be a bit tricky to wrap your head around.
Totally.
Yeah.
So to kick things off, let's talk about the physical world, the one we seem to be experiencing right now. What's the Course's take on that?
Well, the Course is pretty clear that it doesn't see the physical world as the ultimate reality. It's more like a projection of the mind, a kind of collective dream, if you will.
The dream.
Mhm.
Okay, so like not really real.
Well, it's real in the sense that we experience it, right? We see it, we touch it, we interact with it. But the Course suggests that it's shaped by our beliefs, particularly our beliefs in separation and limitation.
So all the stuff we see around us, the trees, the buildings, even ourselves, all just projections of our thoughts.
In a way, yeah. It's like we're constantly interpreting sensory data through a lens of our own making.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So if this world is a projection, what's the world beyond that the lesson talks about?
That's where things get really interesting. The world beyond is what the Course calls the spiritual realm. It's described as the true reality, the source of all that is. And it's characterized by things like perfect peace, unconditional love, unwavering truth, unity.
Wow, that sounds pretty amazing.
Right. And the thing is, this spiritual reality is always there, underlying everything. But we can't perceive it when we're so caught up in the illusions of the physical world.
That's what those lesson titles really highlight, right? Beyond this world, there is a world I want, and then bam! It is impossible to see two worlds. It's like choose one or the other.
Exactly. The Course is very upfront about that. You can't hold on to the beliefs that create the physical world and simultaneously experience the spiritual realm.
Why not? Why can't we kind of dip our toes in both?
Because they operate on completely different principles. Think of it like this. The physical world is based on fear, scarcity, and the idea that we're all separate.
Okay, yeah, I could see that playing out in the world.
Right. But the spiritual realm is founded on love, abundance, and the deep knowing that we are all connected, one big unified whole. These two perspectives, they just can't coexist. One will always dominate.
So how do we even start to shift our focus? To see this other world, this reality that we supposedly want?
Well, that's the whole point of the Course. It's a path, a process of retraining our minds to see things differently, to let go of fear-based thoughts and choose love instead. And Lesson 145, it's like this crucial reminder that shifting perception is the key.
Not just a nice idea, but like the mechanism for change.
Exactly. It's not about physically escaping this world, but about changing how we see it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
But, this can all sound pretty abstract. Can we get a bit more concrete? Like, how does this play out in everyday life? Let's say at work.
Sure. Let's imagine you're dealing with a super stressful situation at work, right? Tight deadlines, conflicts with coworkers, maybe feeling like you're not good enough. From the perspective of the physical world, that can be completely overwhelming.
Oh, tell me about it.
But the lesson is saying, hey, step back for a second. Remember that your worth isn't defined by your job performance or what others think of you.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know, right? But the Course suggests that our true purpose is to recognize and express love and peace. And when we shift our focus to those deeper goals, even a difficult work situation can start to feel different.
So it's about remembering what really matters, even when things are tough.
Yes. And you might find that you're able to handle the stress better, find more inner peace, even in the midst of chaos.
Okay, I like that. Now, what about relationships? Those can get pretty messy, too.
Oh, absolutely. And in those conflicts, we often fixate on surface stuff, the arguments, the hurt feelings. But what's more interesting is what's going on underneath, the fears, the unmet needs for love.
So instead of just reacting, we should try to see the other person's perspective, and maybe even our own, in a different light.
Yeah, like ask yourself, what would a loving response look like here? Or how can I see this person beyond their ego? It's about recognizing that we're all just trying to find love and connection, even if it doesn't always look that way.
That's a good point. It's easy to forget that we're all kind of in this together.
Exactly. And when we remember that, it can really help to shift the dynamic.
Okay, now let's talk about something a bit more, well, visceral, like physical pain. How does this idea of illusion and reality apply there?
That's a really important one. The Course isn't saying to ignore or deny pain, but it's suggesting that completely identifying with the physical body as if that's all we are is part of the illusion.
So it's about recognizing that there's more to us than just our physical form.
Yes. While acknowledging the pain, we can also remember our spiritual nature, the peace that's always within us. It's like shifting our focus away from the pain, even just a little bit, can help to lessen its grip on us.
It's like expanding our awareness beyond the purely physical experience.
That's exactly. And that can be incredibly powerful.
Okay, I'm really digging this. Now, you mentioned a visualization exercise earlier. Can we talk about that? How does that tie into all this?
Yeah, for sure. This visualization, it's a tool to help us actively connect with that world beyond. So take a few minutes each day, close your eyes, and imagine a world filled with peace, love, and unity.
Sounds relaxing already.
Right. And as you do this, try to let go of any attachments to the problems of the physical world. Release any anxieties, any sense of separation, and really focus on the feelings of peace, joy, and connection.
So we're basically giving our minds a different image to hold on to, a different reality to experience.
Exactly. And the more we do this, the more familiar those qualities become.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that. Now, Lesson 145 also asks a pretty powerful reflection question. In what ways can I begin to see beyond my current experiences and perceptions? And how can this shift my understanding of what is truly important in my life? Why is that question so important?
Because it takes us from theory to practice. It's like, okay, now that you understand the concept, how are you going to apply it? It challenges us to look honestly at how we're seeing things and ask ourselves if those perceptions are serving us, if they're aligned with what truly matters.
It's a call to self-awareness, to really examine where our values lie.
And it encourages us to make conscious choices about how we want to experience reality, moving away from the ego's constant striving for external validation and towards those deeper values of love, peace, and connection.
Which might actually be the things that bring us true happiness, right?
Exactly. It's about aligning ourselves with what really matters.
And the lesson doesn't expect us to become enlightened overnight, does it? Like it's a process, right?
Of course. It's about taking small steps, being mindful of our perceptions throughout the day. Like, when you feel anger, see if you can identify the fear behind it. When you face a challenge, look for the lesson in it instead of just focusing on the negative.
So each little shift counts.
Absolutely. It's all about practice.
Okay, so to bring it all together, Lesson 145 is reminding us of this fundamental choice, the illusion of the physical world based on fear and separation versus the spiritual reality of peace and unity. And we can't truly experience both at the same time.
And the path to the peace we all crave lies in consciously shifting our perception, choosing to see things through the lens of love and connection.
And what I love about this lesson is that it's so empowering. It's saying, hey, you have the power to choose. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. It's not just a wish, it's a possibility, accessible through a conscious shift in how we see things.
And the lesson gives us tools to do that, like the visualization and the reflection question.
So to all of you listening, spend some time with those tools this week. See what happens when you start playing with your perception. Maybe you'll be surprised at what you discover.
You never know. It could change everything.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.